a suitcase long forgotten lay the letters and the papers. They waited in darkened silence for generations, with not even a whisper of the stories and the secrets they held. But they were destined to speak again, and to illuminate the unforgettable, haunting chapters of an extraordinary life. Anna Boros was born in Arad, Romania on November 22, 1925, to Juliana and Ladislaus Boros. When she was 2, Anna's parents divorced, and Juliana moved with her daughter to Berlin, where Juliana's mother, Cecilia Rudnick, and her brother, Martin, lived. Soon, Juliana married businessman George Weir, and together they raised Anna. In 1942, the Nazis began the deportation of the Jews from Berlin. By then, Anna was a 17-year-old girl working as a nursing assistant for her family's Egyptian doctor, Mohammed Helmy. Not being of Aryan race, Dr. Helmy was dismissed from his practice at the Robert Koch Hospital in Berlin in 1938. Jewish doctors had been fired in 1933. Helmy was arrested twice, in 1939 and 1940, along with other Egyptian nationals, but he was released after a year because of health problems. When the deportations began, he hid me in his cabin in Berlin-Buch from March 10th until the end of the war, wrote Anna in a letter to the Berlin Senate in the late 1950s. As of 1942, I no longer had any contact to the outside world. The Gestapo knew that Dr. Helmy was our family physician, and they knew that he owned a cabin in Berlin-Buch. He managed to evade all of their interrogations. In such cases, he would bring me to friends where I would stay for several days, introducing me as his cousin from Dresden. When the danger would pass, I would return to his cabin. Dr. Helmy also helped Anna's mother and stepfather and her grandmother, Cecilia Rudnick. He arranged for Cecilia to be hidden in the home of Frieda Sturman. For over a year, Sturman hid, fed, and protected Cecilia. In 1944, the Weirs were captured by the Nazis. During their interrogation, they were forced to reveal that Helmy was helping them and that he was hiding Anna. Helmy immediately brought Anna to Frieda Sturman's home. He wisely evaded punishment by showing the police a letter Anna had allegedly written to him, saying she was staying with her aunt in Dessau. Following the war, Anna, her mother and stepfather, made their way to an American displaced persons camp in Berlin, where she and the others in the camp waited for their emigration papers. Anna was placed on a list to come to America. While at the camp, she met Chaim, Henry Gutman, who she married 3 days before setting sail for New York. Once there, she found work and started to make a new life for herself while awaiting Henry's arrival, which would not come for 2 years, until May 30th, 1949. Anna and Henry settled in New York, and there they made a home and a life. There were struggles and triumphs, work and leisure, friends and family. They raised their children, Charlie and Carla, and participated in community life. There were bar mitzvahs, weddings, grandchildren, and adventures. It was a good life. In 1986, Anna passed away, followed by Henry in 1987. After the war, Dr. Helmy remained in Berlin, where he was finally able to marry his German fiancée, Emmy Ernst. Dr. Helmy died in 1982, Frieda Sturman in 1962. July 2013. Charlie, living in Floral Park, New York, receives a phone call from Ohio. The caller, Fred, a pulmonary physician who was adopted at birth in 1949, tells Charlie that he recently completed a long and exhaustive genealogical search for his birth family. He tells Charlie that he has learned that his birth mother's name was Anna Boros Gutman. "Oh my God," was all Charlie could utter for several long minutes. At last, Charlie found his voice. "If that's true," he said, "then we must be brothers." "I think we must be," answered Fred. In the cozy light of a winter's evening in early 2014, a family gathered. Several months before, a stunned Charlie and Carla had verified through DNA testing and New York State Adoption Registry entries that Fred was indeed their half-brother. In a report drafted by the adoption agency that placed Fred with his adoptive family, non-identifying information revealed that Fred's birth mother had been saved by her family's physician in Berlin, and that she had come to New York in 1947. She also reported that she had become pregnant in 1949 as the result of an encounter with a Holocaust survivor known to the family, who arrived in America in early 1948. The precise nature of the encounter remains unknown. The family hoped that the hundreds of letters in the suitcase held answers to the secret of Fred's birth and adoption. Some of the letters were between Anna and Henry, some from Anna's mother and grandmother. There were letters filled with news from friends and family, both in Europe and America. There were New Year's cards, party invitations, and payslips. And there was a single document from Bethel Hospital in Brooklyn that contained detailed instructions on self-care for expectant mothers. It was dated June 1st, 1949, 2 days after Henry's arrival. In October of 2013, 3 months after Carla, Charlie, and Fred met face-to-face for the first time, Israel's Commission for the Designation of the Righteous at Yad Vashem held a press conference to announce that after vetting testimonial letters from Anna and Juliana just discovered in an archive in Berlin, Dr. Helmy and Frieda Sturman had been designated as righteous among the nations. Helmy was to become the first Arab rescuer ever awarded the prestigious title. In May 2014, Fred and his wife Joyce went to Yad Vashem to present the museum with the forged documents Dr. Helmy had created for Anna. Those documents saved Anna from certain deportation and death. "If it weren't for Dr. Helmy, I would not be here today, and neither would my 2 brothers, Charlie and Fred," said Carla. In addition, between the 3 of us, we have 7 children who wouldn't be here either. The search for answers to the secrets Anna held continues. Translations of the letters, written in Hungarian, German, and Yiddish, may one day reveal more about those dark and difficult years. But for now, Charlie, Carla, and Fred have been united at last, along with their children and grandchildren. And for that, they are abundantly grateful and filled with love.